A lot breaking in the Mueller investigation at this hour. Several new documents have just come out. What do they mean? Do they mean anything at all? We will walk you through it throughout the course of this hour. Also tonight, incoming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that the very idea of a border wall is immoral.
Most of us, speaking for myself, consider the wall immoral.
The wall is immoral. What does that say about how Pelosi views this country? And Republicans take the hint that they've got about 3 weeks left in history to fund the border wall they promised. We'll discuss all that in a minute, but first, tonight's breaking news on the Mueller investigation. We go to the person we always go to, and for good reason. Fox Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Harris joins us.
Well, thanks, Tucker. Let's just kind of break it down together because there's so much here. So all of this came down for folks at home really late in the day. We had 3 filings over a 90-minute period. Let's start in New York with the president's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 filings, one from the U.S. attorney in the Southern District, the second from the special counsel. The bottom line on sentencing is that they're recommending significant jail time, about 4 years, and a fine of $500,000. Buried in the special counsel filing is kind of an indicator of what kind of information he's provided on Russia. And I'm just going to go to my glasses and the paper here for a second.
Thank you.
To read the quote. Okay, so it says, Cohen provided the SCO, that's the acronym for Special Counsel Office, with useful information concerning certain discrete Russia-related matters core to its investigation that he obtained by virtue of his regular contact with company executives during the campaign. Cohen provided relevant and useful information concerning his contacts with persons connected to the White House during the 2017 to 2018 period. So what we've got in the filing is kind of a window into this Russian contact, but then we kind of feel a little cheated because we don't know from the filing what happened with those Russian contacts and whether they were appropriate at all or inappropriate.
Okay. That suggests more than it tells.
Exactly. That's my point. It's kind of like a teaser. You see some of this information. Right. We already know with Michael Cohen that he pled guilty to lying to Congress about this Moscow real estate deal in 2016. Remember,
it did not take place.
That's right. It was a timing issue. Cohen told Congress that they stopped talking about it in January 2016, but in fact they continued the conversations until June, so that was at the height of the presidential campaign and past the Iowa caucuses. So that was kind of a timing issue. But based on the filing today, it looks like there may well be other contacts that were important with the Russians. But again, we don't want to speculate because we don't know what the essence of those contacts are and whether they're relevant to this allegation of coordination or collusion or improper contact.
So we had also today heavily redacted documents pertaining to Paul Manafort. What do we know? What do those tell us?
Well, okay, so Paul Manafort's important because he's the former campaign chairman, and the allegation from the special counsel is that he violated his plea agreement. He pled guilty to a number of crimes, but part of the negotiation is that he would cooperate with the special counsel and he'd look at a reduced jail time, and his wife and his daughter would be able to keep their homes. That was sort of the big sort of bone they were holding out to him. But what happened today is that the judge agreed that part of the filing would be under seal, which means for a lay person that it's not public, that you can't see it. Period, you can't see it. And that would go to ongoing investigations. And then there's a part that is public, but as you've known from seeing it, it's really heavily redacted, that section as well. And it alleges that Manafort broke the agreement by continuing contact with the administration, though he had been told to cease all contact.
Now, there's a story tonight, we can't confirm it, that in parts of that filing that are veiled from public view, the investigations ongoing that are referred to in the document pertain to Tony Podesta.
Right. I don't have that independently, but what I could say just as a data point is that it makes a lot of sense to me, because what we've been seeing in the background here is that there is an investigation looking at Tony Podesta and his lobbying work, and also the former, I believe he was the White House counsel under the Obama administration, Greg Craig. And one of the questions Republicans have had is whether the special counsel investigation is only going to look at Republican lobbying efforts that were violating this Foreign Agents Registration Act, or whether, the shoe would be on the other foot and they would look at Democrats.
Manafort, of course, was in effect working with Tony Podesta for quite some time in representing these foreign interests. Catherine Harris,
thanks for breaking it down.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. You're welcome.
We'll see you again. Alan Dershowitz.